What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Connor Garrity back on the G Money 041 channel. Welcome. Again, this is going to be a sneaker video coming at you right now. I know this video is a little bit early. That is what you're going to be saying. In terms of, this is going to be this is all off the top of my head. I haven't done any research. I haven't done any looking. I haven't done anything at all to prepare for this. This is going to be my opinion on what sneaker is each brand going to be remembered with. This is my predictions on what is going to be the top sneaker. By the end of the year, what is the one sneaker everyone's going to be talking about from each brand this year? And so that means I'm going to do one from Nike, Jordan, Asics, New Balance, Reebok, and Adidas. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, before we actually start, shout out to Titus1, shout out to Beast365, shout out to Heskicks, shout out to all the other writers on collectivekicks.com. If you want to check out my articles, collectivekicks.com, link will be in the description below. Check it out. I'm going to be doing a lot of articles on Nike SB, as well a lot of news articles, as well as some opinion articles every now and then. Sometimes pertaining to Nike SB, sometimes not pertaining to Nike SB. Depends on how I feel. Anyway, let's get into it. First, I'm going to start off actually with Reebok. And the shoe, I think that Reebok is really going to be remembered for this year. And there's a lot of contenders. You could look at the return of the Shaq Attack. That's going to be a big story, in my opinion. The return of the Shaq Attacks this year. That's going to be a big story. But honestly, if Reebok is going to be remembered for one shoe, I think it might be actually 12 shoes. And what I mean by that is I think Reebok's going to be remembered. The year of 2013 is going to be called the year of Sneaker and Stuff. Sneaker and Stuff has done collaborations in the past. You know, they were steady brand in Sweden, and then this year they broke out with the Crocus Questions, the shoe with no names, the Polka Grease Kamikaze 2s, their multiple Punk Furies. I think this is going to be called the year of SNS, and I think the one sneaker that everyone's going to remember is those Crocuses. When images of the Crocuses showed up online, I know I went crazy. I was infatuated. I was in love. Those are the best one of the best quality sneakers I've ever felt. Those things are awesome. And I think that's what this year is going to be remembered for in terms of Reebok. I think this is going to be remembered as the year of Sneaker and Stuff. And that, and I think the Crocuses are going to be their feature shoe. And I know that you could look at the Bait collaboration, you could look at the Shaq Attacks, but that's what I really think. I honestly think that SNS is going to be the winner out of that. Reebok and SNS is going to be remembered. When you think of 2013 and Reebok, that's what you're going to think of. Those Crocuses and the shoe with no names. Those Questions, especially. And people are going to go, those were dope, man. Those were dope. In terms of Adidas, I think a lot of people would say in my position that, and rightfully so, that Adidas is going to be remembered for the Adidas Rose 4 because of Derrick Rose's return and all of that. I think you wouldn't be wrong to say that the D Rose 4 is going to be the sneaker to remember. However, if you had to ask me in terms of Adidas, what they're going to be remembered for, I think they're going to be remembered for just bringing out a lot of their old shoes. They brought back the Adidas, what they're calling the Adidas Elevation EQT equipments, the Crazy 8s, the Top 10 2000s. They'd had them, but this year they really went crazy with the colors and things like that at the beginning of the year. So I really do think that this is going to be the year of when people are going to think of one shoe, though. I think people are going to remember those retros, but I'll actually tend to go with the opinion that Adidas, if they're going to be remembered for one sneaker in the 2013, I think it's going to be the Adidas Rose 4. And I'll do a video at the end of the year where I give my thoughts again on what actually was the sneaker of the year. Nike. Now, this is a difficult one. There are multiple Nike topics as to what could be the sneaker of the year for Nike. In terms of basketball sneakers, of course, you got to go with the LeBron 10 and 11. You couldn't go wrong saying that those were the sneaker of the years for both of those companies, and that's what people are going to remember about 2013. You could also say that 2013 could be the death of the foamposite. There's a possibility with all these printed foams and how poorly they did. You wouldn't be wrong to say, honestly, in my opinion, that 2013 could be remembered for those awful foamposites, and that's going to be the memory about 2013 Nike. They're going to be, what shoe do you remember about 2013? Oh man, those ugly ass Weathermans and thermal matte foamposites. That's what people are going to remember, I think, in the future. Possibly for somebody like me who owns them, you might look at the return of the gloves, and return of some other Nike retro basketball shoes. I don't think you're going to remember the KD6s very much. It's hard to say with Nike because they come out with so many shoes a year. What's going to be the defining moment of Nike? This Dornberger collection might be, but again, they haven't released yet, so I couldn't 100% tell you because they haven't released that. So although their hype is always there, is it going to be there this year? What is the defining? I think actually, I'm going to actually have to go with the defining sneaker of this year for Nike is the Nike Foamposite, and it's in a bad way. When I think of Nike basketball or Nike shoes, for some reason my head conjures up that. That's what it conjures up. That's not a good thing for Nike. That's not a good look for Nike. That's not a good thing. You don't want your memory of the year to be a really ugly shoe. To many people, they're ugly shoes. You don't want that to be your lasting memory. Again, they have the rest of the year to change that, but that's my memory right now when I think of Nike, are those shoes. Nike SB, I didn't say that at the beginning. Let's just quickly do Nike SB. My prediction for what's going to be the sneaker you're going to remember from this year is easy. It's going to be the Brooklyn Projects Dunks. Those things are cool. They're awesome. That's what people are going to remember. They're going to remember the crazy lines for them. And that's it. If Diamond comes out with one at the end of the year, that's probably going to take over that spot. But 2013 right now belongs to BP Brooklyn Projects, the Walk of Fame Dunks. So that's what I think about when I think for Nike SB. Let's go to New Balance. New Balance. When I think of New Balance, and I'm not a big New Balance fan, I'll be honest. I like some of their stuff, but not all of it. New Balance, to me, when I think of New Balance, I honestly want to think of... This is tough. I think the top shoe for me for New Balance this year has got to be those Hypercats that came out like a month or two ago. I really like the Hypercats. I'm a big Star Fox fan and N64 fan, though. So that's a little bit biased for me. But, I'm actually going to have to go with those, the Hypercats. Those are a really cool shoe. I know they've done other collaborations. Those are the most recent ones that stick out in my memory. Like, oh man, everyone wanted those. Those are really cool shoes. There's probably others. I apologize again. I'm not a big New Balance fan. That's what I think people are going to remember. And the same goes with Asics. I think both brands will be remembered, and even Reebok will be remembered for collaborations. Asics, of course, doing collaborations with Ronnie Fike, who produced a lot of awesome collabs. They produced a great collab with Concepts, The Three Lies. They did a couple collabs with Bait. If I had to choose one sneaker, that's really tough for Asics. Probably one of the Ronnie Fike releases would probably be at the top of the list. The Volcanoes haven't released yet as of now, so I can't say those are the top sneaker. I know there's a lot of buzz about those. The Flamingos did have a lot of buzz. But so did the gel. So did the Three Lies pack. The Three Lies pack has a ton of buzz as well. It's tough, and so did the Phantom Lagoons. The Phantom Lagoons, the site was broken. People still waited for like 7 or 8 hours to get those. I don't know, actually. Asics, there's so many good collaborations that Asics did this year that I think you're going to have to chalk that up to like a draw between any of the Ronnie 5s, the Phantom Lagoons, and the Three Lies. Those are going to be the sneakers that you're going to remember from 2013 in the future. People are going to go, oh man, those Asics joints that they did. When you think of Asics, you're going to be thinking, oh, those sick-ass Three Lies pack they did with Concepts, and the Phantom Lagoons from Baden, California, and all of Ronnie 5's things, because Ronnie 5 went ham this year. And all those, I think Asics is going to really be remembered for all those collaborations. And now we come to another tough one, Jordan Brand. Obviously, 2013 is going to be remembered as the year of the 5. The return of the Fire Red 5s in both with a 3M tongue and black tongue. We had the Dornbecker 5s. We have the Laney 5s coming up this year, but they're off the list. They're out of this video because they haven't been released yet, although the hype is real. The thirst is real for those. What else? What other 5s? The Bel Air 5s. The 3 Lab 5s. I know there's other 5s I'm forgetting from this year. There were some girl size 5s in like a Floridians colorway that were absolutely dope. I'm going on to Kicks on Fire right now because they did a list of their top 10 5s. Actually, I don't have time for this. I want to get this video done. Anyway, though, it's going to be remembered as the year of the 5. Which 5 is going to be remembered? You know, if the Laney 5, the Shanghai Shens are also on this list. I forgot about those. I think the Dornbecker 5 is going to be the most remembered by a little. I think you're going to remember that the 5s released in 2013, as the 6s are supposed to get a super crazy release in 2014. I think you're going to remember the 5s, but which 5 I think depends on the person. To me, the Dornbecker 5s are the shoe that's going to be remembered the most. I'm just trying to think. They also released quite a few ones this year. The bread one's coming up. I think that'll be a big release. But you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns here. I'm going to really stick to my guns. I like how I did an automatic, like I have a gun on the side of my body. I don't. But no, I think in terms of predictions as to what's going to be the most remembered sneaker of the year so far, you know, again, for some of these companies, I have to wait to see how the hype and the people are going to react to them. But I think these companies, I think Jordan is going to be remembered for those Dornbecker 5s because those things are filthy. In the good way, not in the bad way. They're filthy. Those things are just straight. They're out of a scale of 10, they're a 50. They're insane. I really wish I had them in my collection, but wasn't able to get them. You know, I'm not going to pay resale value for them. But with that said, a quick recap. Nike, I think, is going to be remembered for the ugly-ass foam posits. That's not good for them. That is bad. And possibly the death of the foam posset. That's what people are going to remember. The sneaker that people are going to remember. The Weathermans or the Thermal Maps. I think those are what people are going to remember about 2013. Jordan, Dornbecker 5s. Nike SB, people are going to remember the Brooklyn Projects Walk of Fame collaboration. Asics, they're going to be remembered for either the Ronnie 5s, the Phantom Lagoons, or the 3 Lies. New Balance is going to be remembered for the Hypercats. I'm going to do a review at the end of the year on all these. Adidas, they're going to be remembered for those D-Rose 4s because of the return of D-Rose. And I think that Reebok is going to be remembered for all the sneaker and stuff collaborations they did this past year, especially the Crocuses or the shoe with no names. And with that said, I am going to end this video. Thank you all for watching. This has been your boy Connor Garrity on the G-Money 041 channel. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And that's going to be it. Again, check out my articles on collectivekicks.com. And stay tuned for the next video, guys. Again, thank you all for watching. Your boy Connor Garrity on the G-Maze 401 channel. And with that, I'm going to hit y'all with the peace.